Are you tired of the same old filtered content? Well, look no further than Unfiltered Studios, your gateway to a world of unscripted, uncensored, and unforgettable podcasts. Join us as we dive deep into captivating conversations on Nailed It with St. Joe, enjoy the advice of a mother on Petals of Support, and uncover the unexplored realms of the ridiculous on Refiltered. Need some guidance in life? Tune in to Finding Your Way for insightful spiritual advice. Discover the power of your mind with Hypno Wellness, and laugh while learning on the Stupid History Minute. Unfiltered Studios, where every episode is a journey, a revelation, and a celebration of unfiltered stories and ideas. Subscribe now and unlock a world of podcasts that will keep you entertained, informed, and inspired. Don't miss out on the next big thing in podcasting. Visit Unfiltered Studios today at unfpod.com or find us on your favorite podcast platform. Unfiltered Studios, where podcasts come to life.
Hey, Keb.
Hey, Beebs.
How's it going? Is it going all right? You look happy.
Well, no.
Okay. Elaborate.
You know how like it's been I don't know if documented is the word, but we'll go with that word. It's been well documented about my love for people who don't know how to drive, as well as my love for the bicyclists on 2-lane roads. You know, and then there's always speed bumps. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have another group of people that are pissing me off, and I think I got to tell you about it.
I'm all ears.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a trend on social media, you know, like Facebook and stuff. You know, specifically an app called Nextdoor. Okay. Now, we've talked
Now, is this
about
the next door from your neighborhood?
Yeah.
So this is from your neighbor?
These fucking people, they're posting pictures of snakes. And then they ask, hey, what kind of snake is this? Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? What kind of snake is this? So I get on there and I say, I tell you what kind of snake it is. It's a fucking snake. That's what the fuck it is, motherfucker. Yeah, dude, I mean, you see, they see a snake, and like a dumb fuck, you get close enough to it to take a picture, and then you ask the internet for a fucking snake identification. You seen this? You know?
I haven't, but that's okay because I just had a snake incident in my house anyway, so.
Right. And then
you should just assume that every snake's dangerous.
But you know what my favorite part is? Yeah, that is correct. You need to assume that every snake is dangerous. Not like they'll get like scientific and fucking, you know, with Latin terms like Python, Molurus, Bidibidus, you know, and then they'll fucking be like, well, the ones with the pointy head are the venomous ones, and the ones with the not pointy head, but the ones that aren't venomous usually mask themselves to look like they're venomous. And you're like, well, what, are they fucking venomous or what? And the last fucking people that I would ask in a potential life or death situation are people who can't get the right there.
Right.
Yeah. But yet spell Bieber correctly every time.
Yeah. You know, have you seen The Office all the way through?
Yes, a couple times.
Do you remember the episode with Robert California on the Halloween with Creed and the rubber snake?
Yeah.
He walks up to Creed, and Creed's like afraid to get close to the snake, and he goes, "Creed, you afraid of snakes?" He goes, "You don't live to be as old as I do, Bobby, without a healthy fear of snakes."
Oh, another thing about these fucking idiots
Oh,
is that they fucking take the fucking picture and they're like, "Oh my god, I found a snake in my garden. What kind of snake is it?" It's a fucking garden snake, you dumb motherfucker. If you find it in the garden, I mean, it's like saying I found a squirrel in my tree. What kind of fucking squirrel is it?
it's
Kinda.
it's a squirrel. I mean,
I mean,
there are different types of squirrels, I assume, right?
right.
Just like there could be more than one type of snake in the garden than a garden snake.
Agreed. But
You don't care. It's a snake.
right. And the only good snake is a dead snake.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts right there. I'm gonna be real for a second.
You haven't been real this whole time.
I'm gonna be real for a second.
Just now getting real.
If you see a snake and you're genuinely concerned about what kind of snake it is, I got a solution for you. You ready for this one? This is fucking breaking news here. Step away from the fucking snake. Go inside. Google it in the safety of your home.
Don't take pictures.
Don't stand there with your fucking phone trying to take a snake selfie while it's hissing and flicking its fucking tongue at you. That's not a Kodak moment, people. That's a fucking Darwin Award waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Beebs.
Yeah. No,
These
don't
fucking
disagree
people. I was nice.
It's why you gotta have a shovel.
Last week we had the St. Joe on, right? And I was nice to the people, you know. Mm-hmm. And then this shit happens. So maybe I need to go back to calling people fucking idiots.
You're talking about the reason why you got to have like a spade shovel handy at all times in the backyard.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got a good snake story for you. Okay, so in Wyoming when I was 18,
by the way, I fucking hate snakes.
Yeah, in case you didn't
I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them.
So in Wyoming, I worked in the desert in the methane fields, which is natural gas, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what my wife keeps telling me, but
right.
Yeah.
So my job was to move the sprinklers around because they had to take the water off the top of the natural gas in order to get the natural gas, but you got to put the water somewhere, right? So our job was to distribute the water onto the farmer or the rancher's land, right? So every now and again, we'd be out there in the middle of the desert because that's all that was out there. It's just desert, right? So we're out there. And we got these giant, like, you've seen these giant, like, rancher spigot sprinklers that just shoot water like a million feet. And anyway, so it's the only thing out in the middle of the desert. And guess what was hiding underneath the tires in the shade?
I'm gonna go with a snake,
and not just any snake, like the big, like
rattlesnake, yeah.
Right? So we would always have to, before we did anything, we would have to look under, like, checking the shade in the tires, and I kid you, like 4 or 5 times, big rattlesnakes, and so we would always be carrying a shovel or a machete or something with us, and that sucker wouldn't survive. But one time in particular that was really scary is we would have to walk through these fields where we had been watering, right? So there's a nice pattern of, like, sometimes there'd be puddles, right? And so we'd go through the puddles, and I kid you not, I stepped right on a rattlesnake in the water. But because it was cold, the water had cooled it off.
Yeah.
It wasn't able to strike.
So I hate snakes so much I'm getting bothered by this story.
Right. So we went back and found it because it couldn't slither away because it was too cold. Even cold-blooded, if they're cold, they can't move. And so we went back and found it, and we gave it the whole, we're going to chop your head off action with the shovel. It didn't make it.
No.
No.
It went to snake heaven.
It went to snake.
You know, I wonder. I wonder if snakes. If you ever wonder about this, shower thoughts by Keb.
This is what you think about while you're in the shower. You think of snakes.
It would amaze you what I think. Well,
I don't want to know what you think about in the shower.
Well, I'm fitting to tell you.
Okay.
Do you ever think that these other species, they have their own Bible, and perhaps in that Bible is a book of Job? No? No? One other thing I got to tell you about happened to me today. So
that's what you thought about in the shower? Just
I think about all kinds of stuff in the shower.
Okay,
Basically, how I'm trying to take over the world. So I'm on the Twitter. Okay? And you know what bugs me about some people on Twitter? Because I would never do this.
You want to know what bugs me about the people on Twitter? Let me think. I got about 5 things.
Not all the people on Twitter, just certain people on Twitter that their life has gone to shit so bad that they have, like, financially speaking, that they have no other place to turn than to ask people on Twitter, you know, for money. There's this cunt that on there that I'm not. If you want,
wait, man, you went there.
Yeah, if you want the person's I'll send it to you. You DM me. It's at Keb Lives, KEBLIVES. Anyhow, but she's on there like every day, right?
Asking
and I
for
can't.
money?
Yeah, I can't not follow her because it's too good. The fucking comments are too fucking good. But I don't want to chime in because I don't want the bitch to block me.
The only thing I can think of is like,
Yeah.
if you're that hard off, how do you have time to be on Twitter?
Right, and she's verified. So not only, not only is she asking for money, but she pays for Twitter. Right,
Twitter.
Right. So she gets on there every day and asks for money for breakfast. Hey, I'm hungry. Can anybody spare $5? Here's my Venmo. Right.
Right.
Well, I did a little digging on this fucking cunt. Right. And sorry. And she's a scammer.
Right.
Go figure.
I wonder how anybody thought of that.
She has 2 warrants out for her arrest in wherever Hamilton County is. I think it's in Missouri somewhere. But anyhow, she has 2 warrants out for her arrest. And she scammed a moving company for like $6,000, but the moving company caught it like in the move and like kept her shit, like locked the truck, you know, and kept her stuff. So now she's asking people for money so she could get her shit back. She got evicted because no one will give her a job because she's pissed off so many people on Twitter that, you know, the internet is undefeated. It's undefeated.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah. So if you piss somebody off on the internet, they're going to do digging to find out where you work. And then the fucking...
They're going to show up.
Their mob is going to call and get fucking people fired. You know, there's this guy...
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
You want to speaking of people who might have warrants out for their arrest?
Okay.
So we haven't checked our mail in 2 weeks.
Uh-oh.
And in the mail, guess what was in the mail?
What?
A summons. A summons in the mail for jury duty.
Yeah, you got to show up for that shit.
Yeah, you do. And it was for my wife.
Nice.
And I handed it to her and I was chuckling. I'm like, you're going to have to deal with this. We've all been sick, so there's no way she was going to go anyway.
Right.
But like, so she's going to have to go down to the courthouse tomorrow and like straighten everything out. She's
Nice.
like, well, what if they put me in jail? I was like, they're not going to put you in jail. They're gonna like slap you on the hand and make you pay a fine. But
I got
like,
put on a jury one time.
Yeah, well, apparently there's a big
it was fun.
Like there's a big case in Clay County right now about a guy who murdered someone in Volusia County. They moved it to Clay County, and they were doing jury pool today, and it was the day she was supposed to be there.
Nice.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm kind of mad I didn't go down there." And I'm like, "Well, trust me, you probably get another opportunity if you show up there tomorrow and just explain to them what happened. Like if you don't check your mail, you know, fast enough or whatever, and all of a sudden, you know, they're gonna fine you or put a warrant out for your arrest or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, if you show up, they're not gonna arrest you. Just explain to them what happened. There are greater. ills that you could commit.
So back to the hooker who's scamming everybody. Just to wrap that up really quick, I think one of our friends in the true crime genre should investigate that cunt. So I gotta put this out to the people. We have a listener that wanted us to bring back the Joker's Wild segment.
Yeah,
is that correct?
That's correct. They requested Joker's Wild, so what we did was we revamped it.
So we'll see how this goes. Hold, please. So if you're a new listener, this is a segment where Beebs gets to tell a dad joke, and then I try very successfully to tell a long and drawn-out joke so that we never have to do this again.
I got a bad feeling about tonight.
So here we go. Beebs, you get to go first.
My wife just left me. She said that my life revolved too much around football. I was upset. We were together for 7 seasons.
So I've done some shows in my lifetime.
Uh-huh.
So during a show one time, I asked the crowd if they were pro guns.
Oops.
And the majority, we're in Florida, dude.
Yeah.
Our florist has a gun.
Yeah.
And the majority belted out in approval. I asked the man in the front row why he was pro guns, and he gave me all this basic, personal protection, liberty, Second Amendment bullshit. So very, very seriously, I told the crowd, I'm pro guns because I enjoy living in a world where Nirvana only has 4 albums.
Oh, jeez. That's bad. That's bad. Oh. Jeez, dude. Drop the mic on the first one.
I'm just trying to. I haven't gotten any hate DMs in a while, man. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one. You ain't heard shit yet.
All right. I got a call from my wife while I was at the bar last night, and she said, if you're not home in 10 minutes, I'm going to give your dinner to the dog. I was home in 5 minutes. I would hate for something bad to happen to that dog.
To follow up on my last joke, my sister asked me, she's into astronomy. She asked me, how do stars die? And I said, usually a gunshot.
Jeez. Dude. I just learned the German word for constipation.
Okay.
Far from pooping.
Oh my god. Far from pooping. So, I was at the park the other day. Yeah, I go to the park, right? Uh-huh. And when you're at when you're at the park or the mall or whatever, like say you're at the mall, right? Uh-huh. And your wife goes into like Bath and Body Works, right? Well, you don't want to do that shit, so you look around for a bench.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Now, the rules of the bench are this. If I sit on the bench, it is my bench. I have claimed that bench. It's not an invitation for you to come and sit fuck down next to me. Okay? So, the soon-to-be world-famous wife goes into the JCPenney's. Mm-hmm. I claimed a bench. If you've been in the Avenues Mall, you know the JCPenney's right next to where all the kids' play area is, right?
Yeah.
So I claimed a bench. This dumb hooker comes down and sits on the bench. Now, it is no longer my bench. It is our bench. Okay? Dumb hooker on my bench. So, what do I naturally think to myself? I'm going to make this cunt feel as fucking uncomfortable as I can. So, now she wants to make the small talk. I fucking hate small talk. You know, contrary to popular belief, I like to fucking be quiet sometimes. So she looks at me, and we're at the kids' play park, right? And she looks at me and she says, well, which one is yours? I looked her dead in the face and said, I'm trying to decide.
Did that joke before? I might have told that joke before. All right. I'm not saying I'm handsome or anything, but every time I go into the bathroom and take my clothes off, I turn the shower on. Yeah.
So this might be a little touchy, but I'm in a fuck it kind of mood.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So my friend's, she's female. She's actually soon to be world famous wife's friend, because I'm not allowed to have female friends anymore, because, you know, for a grown 48-year-old man having fucking female friends, you know, like Chris Rock once said, you know, men have friends that you fucked and that you haven't fucked yet. That's Chris Rock, not Keb. Anyhow, so the friend's dog died. So I was just trying to cheer her up by getting an identical one. But unfortunately, it just made her more upset because she screamed at me, "What am I supposed to do with 2 dead dogs?"
All right. This is my last one. So you might know this one.
Okay.
I learned the German word for bra.
I do know this one. It's like baby sagging or something like that.
Stop them from flopping.
Yeah, stop them from flopping. Yeah. Hey, you know they?
I do.
Okay, they say a lot, don't they?
They do.
Okay, so they say that there's a person capable of murder in every friendship group. I suspected it was Dave, so I killed him before he could cause any harm.
Oh, thank you for tuning in to Joker's Wild. That was a good one.
I like that.
I'm glad that we limited it to 5, but it was a good time and I missed it.
Those were fun. Well, we have a guest that's gonna pop in here in a little bit, and probably take. So, what do you say we do? Got some messages last week. They're like, "Where the fuck are the movie quotes?" And I was like, "Well, Beebs didn't pick a motherfucking movie." And they're like, "Well, why does Beebs have to pick the motherfucking movie?" And I was like, "Because I've seen a whole lot of shit." And Beebs has seen like Little Mermaid, you know, and I doubt Oh, you know what though? Real quick sidebar. I watched The Flash. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as everybody's making it out to be. Now it ain't fucking Infinity War, but it's interesting. But I think it's because it's kind of hitting me in the nostalgia because of Michael Keaton.
Oh, hey, there's a TV show on Amazon Prime right now that we finished a little while ago, and it's called Jury Duty.
Yeah, I've seen it.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was interesting because the dude had no clue.
Right. And I thought it was freaking hilarious.
It was
what
funny.
They put him through. Hilarious. Yeah. James Marsden's character.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
We watched that back when it was on. There's a free Amazon Prime channel called Amazon Freebie. It's like a different app, and that was put on there, but you had to deal with commercials. Yeah. So on Amazon Prime, I mean, there's no commercials.
You don't have to, yeah.
Yeah. So, it was interesting. I saw the trailer for what I'm like, man, I got to watch that. It's right up my alley. You know, I mean, the wife's addicted to reality TV, so.
So, tell them what the movie is tonight.
The movie tonight. Well, let's back up. Let's tell them what we've done already. We did Jim Carrey quotes the last time we did this. We've done Dodgeball and a True Underdog Story, and we've done Office Space. Right? So tonight, what we are doing is a fine feature film. Some call it the most complete film ever made. Some
do.
Some also smoke meth.
Finest feature film ever, but everybody's watched it.
Yes, it is a movie called The Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna let Beebs start off with his
So the
favorite
rule
quotes.
is, if you have a really good quote, you have got to use the accent when you
Oh
do it.
yeah, okay, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have any quotes from fucking Buttercup.
All right.
You
Neither
know,
am I.
so yeah.
Here we go. Here's the most well-known line from the movie. Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today.
Marriage. You know, in movies, and we might do this movie later on, but I'm gonna bring it up now. It when it comes to like wedding scenes, there are two that fucking kill me. That one, and the one from Spaceballs, where he's like, "I don't care, somebody's getting married today. Do you? Yeah. Do you? Yeah. Good. Kiss her."
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I'll go with probably the second most famous quote. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
That's the one right there. Dude, that is the stuff. All right. Well, you're going to get one from me. All right. Here we go. You know Vicini?
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
Vicini.
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous of which is never get involved in a land war in Asia. But only slightly less well known is never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, speaking of Vicini, he keeps using this word. Inconceivable.
Yeah.
But
Well, what's the response? The response is, you keep on using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So, here's one. Dread Pirate Roberts.
Okay.
Good night, Wesley. Good work. I'll most likely kill you in the morning. No? Yeah.
I'm good with it.
All right.
Let's see. So you know at the beginning when Peter Falk is reading it to I keep wanting to call him Kevin Arnold, but it's
Yeah.
not that was his name in the Wonder Years. But what's the actor's name? Guy who played Kevin Arnold.
Oh, Fred
And
Savage.
that's Fred Savage, yeah. When Peter Falk's like, when I was your age, television was called books.
Do you remember Billy Crystal, man? This was one of his finest hours, this movie. No one ever talks about Billy Crystal in this film, but
Yeah.
he's the miracle man, right? Don't
He
rush me.
is.
Don't rush me. You rush a miracle man, you get rotten miracles.
Let's see here. Let's
This
well,
is the sound
talking about Miracle Max, there's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead. Please open his mouth. Now, mostly dead is slightly alive. Now, all dead, well, with all dead, there's usually only one thing you can do. No, I don't think they ever tell you the one thing that you could do.
bury him. Isn't that what he says?
Well, you know this movie better than I do.
All right, here you go. Rats of unusual sizes? I don't think they exist.
And don't they? I don't have it in front of me. Don't they talk about when they go into what's the forest called?
The
Swamp. The swamp.
yeah,
The fire
fire
swamp.
swamp. Yeah,
And he's like, just because no one's done it before doesn't,
yeah. Doesn't mean we can't do it.
doesn't mean we can't do it,
Yeah,
And then, I mean, you got probably who do you think has the best quotes?
Oh,
You think
Andre
it's
the Giant.
Wesley?
Andre the Giant has the best quotes.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Wesley's got some good quotes. This was a good movie, man.
Yeah,
You
I've got
know?
one from Vicini. Have you
Okay.
heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates? Yes. Morons.
Yeah, here's one talking to Andre the Giant. You mean you'll put down your rock and I'll put down my sword and we'll try to kill each other like civilized people?
Yeah, yeah,
And then when he knocks him out, he's like, "Rest well and dream of large women."
yeah, yeah. He does have a couple. He's like, when they were fighting, doesn't he stop and tell Inigo Montoya, says, "You seem like a decent fellow. I hate to kill you."
Right?
Yeah. Well, here's my last one,
Okay.
and it's my all-time favorite. It's not well known. Nobody seems to remember it, but they're on the boat, and are you familiar with the rhyming scene with
I
Andre
am.
the Giant?
I am.
Physic, are there rocks ahead? If not, we'll all be dead. No more rhymes now. I mean it. Anybody want a peanut?
All right, my last one is something that I use in everyday life. Okay? It's a quote from Wesley. Yeah, or the Man in Black, whatever you want to call him. And it says, "I'll explain and I'll use small words so that you'll be sure to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon."
How many people have you said that to?
I say it almost daily, but it's a little more colorful than that.
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've got some good news and I've got some potentially upsetting news.
Is our guy not showing up?
He is. He has had he not to put so much of his business out there, but he's got something that needs to be tended to.
He had an emergency.
Well, I mean, there are different types of levels of emergencies. Like, have you ever been in the grocery store and you had to fart, but then it wasn't a fart, it was like a shart, and now you got to find a fucking bath? Now that's a fucking emergency. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're driving down the road, okay, and you got this asshole in a Tahoe behind you. And he's driving. You're doing like 10 miles over the speed limit, but he's driving like a fucking maniac.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get to the Catholic Church.
That's an emergency.
On time. If you were just to tap your brakes.
Wait a second. St. Joe drive the Tahoe. Did you do that on purpose, or was that a joke?
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering when you're going to pick up. No, because dude's always bitching about the person being in the left lane.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I'm saying? And St. Joe is the one guy that I know that, like I get mad at people. You've ridden with me. I get mad at people on the road, but I don't drive like a crazy person.
That's true. You don't drive like a crazy person.
I don't drive like a crazy person. I just want people to follow the laws that I deem acceptable.
Yeah.
So, but St. Joe, he got a little heavy of a foot.
Well, I mean, he's a big man.
Right, but I'm just saying that he does not abide by the speed limit laws of the state of Florida.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm.
Right. He has his own speed limit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
So what was the good news?
Oh, we get to talk for the next half hour. We just get to have a chat.
I actually have a topic I wanted to. I don't think it'll take 30 minutes, but I have a topic I want to talk about.
Hang on. Let me. I'm not done making fun of St. Joe. I'm just kidding.
He doesn't need to be made fun of.
No. Back real quick. The traffic laws. You know how like you're on the interstate and it says minimum speed limit 40.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody going 40?
Yes.
You have?
Uh-huh.
I'd get behind him and honk.
I just go around them.
Why? You are the poster child for leaving well enough alone.
I am.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not healthy. You're gonna have a heart attack. All that pin up stuff.
I don't have any pent up stuff.
In there. Yeah, you do. You just
No,
see
9
that,
times out of 10. No, look, I don't pent it up. Like in the
first
car.
fucking stage is denial.
In the car. If you're in the car with me, be like, I'll bet you that person's like 90. And we can go by. Yep. They're 90.
Or they're 90 and probably a woman.
Yeah, well, you brought up the second part. I didn't. So.
No, I'm just saying that it is a scientific fact.
Scientific.
It's a scientific fact.
It's been proven, your theory, yes.
That I'll tell you why it's proven. That women don't drive as well as men. And it's scientific. That's why. Look this up. You look this up.
Well, let me hurry and do that, okay? I'll just
No. Car insurance for women is more expensive than men.
Is it?
Outside of 25.
No way.
Look at it. And
Really?
who gets in more accidents, women or men?
I have no idea. Do you?
Yes, it's women. And even if it's not true, it's still women.
Okay.
You know.
Can I bring in my topic now?
Hang on.
Okay.
They need to take
You got more. All right.
And this is anybody, man or woman,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Man or woman, and then it's 10 years young. Well, St. Joe's almost 60, so I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
At age 60, you need to take a driving test to renew your driver's license every year.
Do you really?
Man or woman. No. I'm just saying that's a law of Keb. So at age 60, that's going to be number 4 if I'm ever elected president.
Okay.
Is retest at 60.
You should run, man. You should run for this election coming up. You might be Donald Trump.
Yeah, your cognitive skills are low.
No, you didn't want to. Okay.
No, I'm not running against Trump. I'm not a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Oh,
anybody's not to get political on you, but anybody's running against that motherfucker, you're dumb shit. You know, you're just looking for publicity. You're not going to win.
Maybe.
Yeah, so, he's going to win what? Yeah, your topic. I'm sorry. I go on all night about goddamn traffic.
So, opening weekend in college football did not start out great.
Is this where you're going to start with your Oklahoma propaganda?
No. I wanted to tell you that I watched the Florida Gators play against Utah, and I actually think they're going to end up being really good by the end of the year, just by what I saw. I know that they didn't win the game.
They were going to lose. I told you they were going to lose.
Right. I know they didn't win the game, but I think the quarterback's going to be good. I really do. Which is weird to say because he's from Wisconsin, right?
Right.
But he could throw the ball, and he was a better thrower of the ball than Richardson for sure last year.
I don't know what people are smoking in Indianapolis. I watched Richardson the dude's not good.
Right.
He gets hurt all the time.
The new guy, what's his name?
Graham Mertz.
He actually had touch. Like he could actually throw the ball with some touch and deliver the ball into space, and he could run a little bit. You know, he could cause problems that I don't think Richardson could cause last year. So I think they're actually going to win more games this year than they won last year.
All right, you know what pisses me off about the game? I watched it until the fucking Braves came on because the Braves playing the Dodgers, and at that time it was like fucking 24-3, and I was like, "Fuck this," you know. But what pisses me off in the 3 quarters that I watched, and then I watched the rest on my phone because every Gator fan thinks that until there's 3 seconds left in the game that the Gators are going to come back. We just believe that
something's going to happen.
We're dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, in Oklahoma, they call it Sooner Magic, right?
Right.
So I'm sure what's the Gators term?
And I was explaining this to some dumb shit that lives in the north across college football down here is a lifelong commitment.
Oh, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? It just really is. It just like the commercial says, it just means more.
Actually,
down here.
this brings up a question I was going to bring up. So, at what point are you able to, maybe change the channel and watch another game if your team's playing?
It's very difficult unless I have another sport to watch. That's the two.
Right.
The only reason I felt okay switching it to the Braves Dodgers. Those are the two best records in the major leagues.
So
that are playing each other.
So over the weekend, Oklahoma played Arkansas State and made Butch Jones cry.
Yeah.
Did you see that? He was crying on the side. Anyway, we
what
got up
was
by
it? It was
73 to nothing.
Yeah,
that's
fucking stupid.
And
they should run rule it or mercy rule. Anyhow, real quick, Gator game.
Okay.
What irritated me is that it's Billy Napier's second year. I know you got a new quarterback, you got a bunch of new players, but they're not 3rd and 1. I mean, false starts. Fucking delay a game. They fucking had 2 people on the field with the same number at the same time. That's a big fat fucking penalty, that was on 4th down on a punt return,
and they scored
which gave them the ball back, and they scored on it. So you have all these mental and what I call coaching mistakes, and people are like, well, it's only second year. Well, on Saturday, I clicked on the fucking Colorado TCU game with a guy in his first fucking game in a Power 5 conference.
Might have been the best game of the year.
With fucking 85% new fucking players, transfer portal, all this shit, and they looked like they fucking had it together. They didn't make stupid mistakes. You could tell they were well coached. And say what you want about Deion Sanders, but he knows what he's fucking doing.
I don't have anything negative to say about it.
And he has made everybody will be tuning into that Colorado-Nebraska game.
And his interview after the game was really good too. Because Deion's kind of known for being, what's the word? Egotistical, I guess. Maybe not so prideful, or maybe not so humble. But really, his interviews lately have been really good.
Did you catch his halftime thing where they asked about Travis Hunter? He's like, he is him. If he makes those 2 catches for deep balls, the Heisman would be chilling in his crib right now.
Yeah. No, that game was good. Remember when we talked about TCU though? We talked about TCU last week.
They did score a lot. They did score a lot.
What's a Big 12 team?
Right.
And Colorado's not going to win every game of the season. They're going to they could win the Pac-12 though. They could win the Pac-12.
Well, they got to get by USC.
Yeah. The issue for them going forward is they're
have to play Oregon and Utah.
Yeah, they're brand new, so and Utah doesn't make mistakes. Okay, Utah doesn't make any mistakes.
No, they're good.
And
they're well coached.
TCU that was at TCU is a huge win.
Yeah,
I don't think TCU is as good as everybody says or thought they were. I really don't.
Well, they could score still.
Well, I mean, yes, and they can score with the best of them. They always have, right? Yeah. But if they run into a team like Colorado I felt like they had a decent little defense. I mean, 45 points for TCU is that's their average. They're gonna. I mean, if you can hold them to their average, then you've done it. You've done your job. 45 points. They held the line and they won the game. So here's the deal: if TCU scores 45 points and doesn't win the game, then that tells you how bad they are. Right?
Sure.
Same thing with OU. If OU were to do that, which they didn't, thank God, this week anyway, but they might later on in the season. But that's what we used to say with OU. You score 45 points and can't win the game, you're not good. That's just how it is.
The Gators scored 11.
Yeah, that makes for a lot less fun watching a football.
In 4 or 4 quarters of football.
They
scored 11.
That TCU Colorado game might have been the game of the season right off the bat. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the whole and I've got something after this, but I think the whole weekend that was probably the best game, certainly the most surprising.
It wasn't the most surprising game for me.
Outside of Duke beating the shit out of Clemson last night.
That was a surprise.
In my opinion, the most impressive win was Florida State over LSU.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the most impressive, because especially in the second half, and to people in listener land, I am no way, shape, or form a Florida State Seminole fan. I was fucking raised to hate those motherfuckers.
Listen, if they
But
can avoid
they
some
look
sort of
good.
injury, if they can avoid a bad injury to someone important, they could be a really good team.
Yeah,
They're going to cause problems for a lot of people.
they're an SEC team playing in the ACC. Is
Yeah,
what he's built there.
they're
Yeah,
going to be good.
but I mean that's to be, you know,
You worry though, they look so good at the beginning of the season. That worries a little bit. You know what I mean?
well, they beat LSU last year in
Right.
New Orleans, but barely.
Right. This year they ran away.
Yeah,
They ran away from them. Just left them. I mean, that second half. I mean, that was quite a second half. Don't you
Sure.
think? I mean, against LSU,
certainly for Florida State,
it wasn't even a home game.
Yeah, it was in Orlando, so yeah, it was a home game.
Yeah, but it was in the hood.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if you've ever been to Camping World Stadium.
It is a scary place. I went there for the Cheez-It Bowl last year.
Otherwise known as the Citrus Bowl. It's in the middle of a fucking neighborhood, and not a good one.
Right. So anyway, so over the weekend, my thoughts on college
pretzel with your fucking crack.
Right. My thoughts on college football over the weekend were, I think Florida State's going to be really good. I think they could be in the playoff. Clemson, I think, will be good. I don't think that they were as bad as the score with Duke showed. They went down the field every single time they had the ball and just couldn't score. I mean, they'd be on the 1 yard line and just coughing the football up. There's probably 4 or 5 drives I saw that they're in the red zone and they couldn't get any points. So
there across the NCAA, there was a lot of where you saw, you know, first game jitters.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm. That's what I saw with Clemson last night. Is I think they were the better team. They had the better athletes. You could see it.
You know,
you could see that they had the better players.
But you know where you didn't see that? In the fucking Colorado game.
No, Colorado across the board was they were better.
Very well coached.
And Duke didn't make any mistakes last night either with Clemson.
Mark my words, that quarterback for Duke will be in the Heisman race.
And they're saying he's going to be in the top 3 quarterbacks drafted.
Oh, yeah. And that would be, I mean, remember Daniel Jones? He was from Duke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, starter in the NFL.
Nope. I think it's going to be good. I'm going to say didn't really learn anything about my team this week because they didn't play anybody. So
I didn't learn anything about the Gators either, and we did play somebody.
So also, I learned that remember all that talk about how Texas had Arch Manning?
Yeah, it's the other guy. I tuned in too.
He didn't start. He didn't play.
Yeah, I tuned in too.
That was Quinn Ewers, just like I said.
They still got him.
Mm-hmm.
Arch Manning is on the team.
He's on the team. He will start like next year. But Quinn Ewers is a good quarterback. And actually, that Texas-Alabama game coming up this week, I think that's going to be a good game.
I'll take Alabama.
I'll tell you what, though. The Alabama quarterback is built like... I mean, did you watch any of that game?
I did. I live with somebody who went to Alabama.
Okay, well. That quarterback, I don't know that he throws the ball that well, but I would not want to be trying to stop him on the run.
His name is Milroe.
Yeah, and he can run. Yeah. I mean, he can run. And
he's like Anthony Richardson. He can't throw the fucking ball. Let's see if he gets hurt.
And that will cost him a game, probably at some point in the season, right?
Sure.
That's going to cost him a game because he can't throw the ball, probably, right? And an SEC defense is going to load up on him and won't be able to stop the run. But honestly, okay, well, here's the question. Who do you think? You said Alabama over Texas. By how much?
14.
2 scores.
2 scores.
I think it's going to be a lot like last year. And I think it's going to be a flip of the coin.
Well,
it could be either team.
It's in Tuscaloosa. That's why I say.
Yeah, but I think Texas's offense is going to be.
I mean,
it's going to keep them in the game. It's going to keep them in the game.
Alabama's defense is stout too.
I know, but
You know,
I mean, we just watched Florida State go all over the place on LSU, and Texas has a good offense, kind of like that.
are you saying that LSU is as good as Alabama?
No, I'm saying that they have a really good SEC defense.
Right, but Alabama's Nick Saban, and you can Notre Dame me up and down the fucking. But Brian Kelly is not Nick Saban.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue for Alabama is going to be that their quarterback can't throw the ball.
We'll see. You just say he can run all over the place.
He can run all over the place, and I don't know that Texas can stop the run. So it could be exactly like you say.
So in 1995, the Florida Gators were undefeated going into the national championship game against this fucking team called the Nebraska Cornhuskers with fucking Tommy Frazier and Lawrence Phillips, who fucking
those
hit
guys
his
were
girlfriend and shouldn't. And they threw the ball like 4 fucking times in the whole fucking game. They ran on an SEC defense that was undefeated, so it could be done. That's my point.
Scott Frost.
Yeah.
Is that right? Was that Scott Frost?
No, that was not 95. Scott Frost was like 10. It was Tom Osborne.
That was the coach, Tom Osborne. Who was the quarterback?
Tommy Frazier.
Tommy Frazier was the quarterback?
Correct. Tommy Frazier was a quarterback, and Lawrence Phillips was a running back.
Yeah. And they ran the wishbone?
They ran the option, yeah.
Yeah. The option, yeah. Kind of like Colorado did in their season that they won.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With Cordell Stewart. Was that 90? That was 90.
Well, no, they had another guy prior to Cordell Stewart when they won the national title.
Yeah, they won it in 90 because this was a Aflac trivia question. They won it in 90 when they shared the title with Georgia Tech.
Which was an odd team to share the title with, but...
Yeah. I forget the dude's name.
He died of cancer, right?
Name. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, may he rest in peace. Also, do want to say, rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
No joke. Absolutely.
You know, yeah, and the dude from Smash Mouth. He died too.
Really?
Yeah. Sean Harwell, maybe?
Hmm.
Yeah, he passed away, as well. So
Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
Were they the ones that wrote the song that was on Shrek?
Yeah, All Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also did I'm a Believer, but they didn't write that. The fucking Monkees did.
That's a good song.
Right. But everybody's like, oh, that's Smash Mouth. No,
that's the Monkees. But the Monkees weren't really a band, were they?
They're a TV show. It's like Archie.
Right, but
it's
so
like
they were banned from a TV show? Right.
Yeah.
They weren't a real band, but they actually wrote that song?
Well, I mean, somebody wrote it and the Monkees recorded it, and they were singing from the TV shows like the fucking Brady Bunch. You know that band they had on the Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you got any other stories?
No, I do want to bring this up here real quick. We got a few more minutes. This comes out Wednesday, so Thursday, the NFL season begins.
Yeah, yeah, and I never got an invite to do any fantasy football with the boys over at the Two Penny.
Yeah, me neither. But I do want to bring this up real quick. Now, I know you don't follow the NFL like you do college. But you do know that there's an AFC and an NFC.
I do.
And
I know
across the board, the AFC is better than the NFC. Now, I'm not to say the NFC doesn't have some good teams, but I'm just saying across the board, the AFC has a
You mean this year?
Yes.
Okay.
And last year.
Yeah. And actually for some time now.
Right. They've traditionally past 5 to 7 years have had the better teams.
Right.
Not with Tom Brady on.
Right.
So do you know who Peter King is?
I think so. Yeah.
Peter King, he's a correspondent for Sunday Night Football. He also does some ESPN work, and he also writes for Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Well, he came up with his AFC.
He said that. Is he the guy that said the Jags would be the top AFC team?
No, I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
He came up with who's going to make the playoffs in the AFC. And his first team in is the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of people think they're going to suck. I said on this program 2 weeks ago, and on Nailed It, that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have a winning record because Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record.
Right.
And then the Baltimore Ravens, yeah. The Buffalo Bills, they have it in at 5th. They have the Bengals in at 4. The Jets in at 3. The Chiefs in at 2. And the Jaguars, the overall number 1 seed heading into the playoffs next week. Now, in my opinion, if the Jaguars don't at least make what they did last year, it's going to be which is the second round of the playoffs. I think you're going to have somewhere along the line another Chiefs-Jags. And let's just not forget they play in week 2 right here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. So do you agree with Peter King?
Not necessarily. I believe in the Ric Flair. To be the man, you have to beat the man.
Mm-hmm. I think the Chiefs should probably still be number 1, right?
So until somebody ousts the Chiefs, just like the Chiefs took over what was the Patriots spot.
Right.
Well,
the Bills are there too. They're a great team.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that the Bills have fallen off. I don't buy it. I on paper they're
Based
just as
on
good
what?
as the Chiefs. Yeah, I mean a lot of people think that their defense is suspect. That
It doesn't
they're gonna
matter.
give
They
up a
still
lot of
have
points.
Josh Allen.
Diggs isn't happy up there. Just they think the locker room is a mess. I mean, dude, if you lived in Buffalo, wouldn't you be pissed off too? I mean, it's fucking cold.
Any place you got to live where you have to actually shovel the snow off your roof or the roof's going to cave in.
How about like shoveling it off of your fucking driveway so you can get the fucking car out?
That part, yeah, that part sucks because I've done it, but I haven't. It wasn't so much snow that you couldn't get out, right?
Right.
But there, they have so much snow that they have to rake it off their roof, or the roof will literally fall inside the house. That's how heavy it gets. Were you aware of this?
No, because
so they're not just shoveling their driveway. They're not just shoveling their driveway. They're shoveling it off the roof so that they can survive the winter without having major catastrophe.
This is why I'm proud to be a Floridian.
Yeah, I mean, when that temperature drops below 60 in December, you're going to be all right?
It did. It was like 75 this morning. I was borderline cold.
I thought it was amazing this morning.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
nice.
Dude, September hit, and all of a sudden did you see there's another tropical storm maybe coming this way?
I love it. Invest 95. I follow Mike's weather page. Shout out to Mike. Mike's weather page on Facebook. Follow him on TikTok and all that. It gives you good information. This motherfucker got in a fucking truck that he fucking souped up, put lights on and shit, emergency lights and all this shit. It fucking went to Perry, Florida in the middle of the fucking storm. That's what I'm fucking talking about. You're a Floridian, Mike. Shout out to Mike's weather page. You know what I'm saying?
But did you see there's another storm coming?
Yes, I did. Invest 95.
It might not actually hit Florida, but
I hope it does.
I bet we get some rain or something wrong.
I hope it's a Cat 5 and it heads right for Duval. You know what I'm saying?
I do not. I do not wish that.
Yeah, straight for Duval.
I do not wish that. Not at all.
No?
No.
Okay.
I'm surprised that you do, but that's okay.
Why don't we hit the rundown here real quick?
Let's hit the rundown. On Monday, we had St. Joe. He talked about what?
About movie quotes.
Yeah.
I liked it.
He had a good idea.
He mentioned Moneyball.
Oh, yeah, he did. And he said it was one of the best movies he's ever seen.
I fucking love that movie.
You know what's funny? Before we get too far, speaking of good ideas, I had a good idea this week. We need to get the lube man on it. But we need to go on tour, a food tour of Jacksonville. So
are we recording while we do this?
I figured it'd be kind of hard to do that. You know what I mean? So maybe we all just go and take like mental notes, and then the next episode we do afterwards, we all meet and take notes of the day.
Okay.
But the idea is that we all meet at the Metro Diner, like centrally located, probably the one closest to you, right?
I think centrally located to all of us would probably be Bay Meadows. Either
Or
that
maybe,
San Marco.
yeah. Or
San
maybe we
Marco.
go to the original
Yeah, San
Metro
Marco.
Diner. Yeah. And so, and then we go there, and then like all three of us get a choice of restaurants, right?
Okay.
So we show up having that choice already made, and then we tell we tell each other the choices, and then we decide which one we're going to next after the Metro. And then we just spend the day driving around Jacksonville, St. Augustine, all the way up to wherever we're going to go area, just eating food.
Okay.
And then we actually have a podcast about our experiences with the food.
These restaurants is it kosher to order an alcoholic beverage?
Yeah, I'll be the designated driver.
Yeah, I don't want to drive. You know what I'm saying?
But that means you'll have to be okay with me driving.
Yeah, I'm fine with you driving if I'm drinking.
All right. But anyway, so y'all can have a beer at these restaurants or whatever you want to do. As long as you promise me you won't get sloshed. That way I'm not driving a bunch of drunk people around.
You know, I'm a lot of fun when I've been drinking.
I know. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But you didn't overdo it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm too old to overdo it. I'll be asleep.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? I can't party like I did when I was 25.
Right.
I'm 48 motherfucking years old. I'm
so anyway,
we'll have 6 beers and I'll be asleep.
We'll talk to Lube Man, and we'll be like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you choose your restaurant. It can be anywhere from here to St. Augustine. Right?
Yeah.
On over to Clay County.
Right?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean,
Yeah?
Clay County's not a real place, but I mean, you know.
It's real. I'm here right now.
I mean, you know, it's Clay County's where the rednecks live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway. So we made it to St. Joe on Monday. Sorry for the interruption. But he had a good podcast on the movie quotes. And then we don't have Mama D back, but she did replay one of her really good episodes. I know because when I came into the StreamYard, I saw another studio prepped for her episode, and it looks like it's going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
So she will air that new episode next week, right? And then
I think she's got some banked up.
Yeah, I'll bet she does. But then, so our show comes out. You're listening to it right now, obviously, and then we have Cindy. She'll have hers on Wednesday, and then I'll have mine on Thursday, along with Cindy's second go. And speaking of which, did you listen to my episode from last Thursday? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
I listened to all Unfiltered Studios properties.
Yeah. Anyway, so I stole your idea.
I know you did. It was a great idea.
It was a good idea.
But I knew that you were gonna have some. You have what they call the Bible Google, you know, and you'd be like, okay, Keb said storm, so let me find the scripture, you know. And
once you said that, I actually did have something planned, but when you said that, I was like, oh, there's this cool story. I need to go find it. There's this cool story. Now that he said it, I need to talk about it. So I did.
I'm full of good ideas.
Oh yeah, you're overflowing. Anyway, so you'll have finding your way.
Supposed to mean.
Anyway, so finding your ways on Thursday, second half of Hypno Wellness, and then on Fridays we got the 2 penny. We have paint splats Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what do we have every day, Keb?
We have one of my good ideas. It's
one of your great ideas.
It was a stupid history minute. Right now we're going through some things that are
the Book of Job.
Some things that are common to the start of fall.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about, we did have 2 episodes that were submitted at stupidhistory.net. That went on the 1st and the 2nd.
Yeah, I was super excited.
One was for swear words,
Mm-hmm.
and one was for bidets.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we talked about the unofficial end of summer.
Mm-hmm.
But another one of my good ideas is this thing right here. It's called the Stupid History Book, and it is. I can finally say this. It is finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more work. If it's not done, if you find a typo or whatever, you know what? It's supposed to be that way.
I actually have an issue I was going to bring up
Okay.
because Saint Joe keeps saying he's going to give it away as a white elephant gift.
Okay.
Do you find that as kind of like, I don't know, because like white elephant gifts are gifts you give people you don't want, right?
Oh, I mean, no, I think it's a unique item. I foresee it being on the back of a bunch of toilets. Maybe a coffee table, maybe this and that. But it is a good gift for people who, like me, like to read the fucking almanac for fun.
Yeah.
And like to learn little tidbits for useless, knowledge. But in going back, I'm sure you can imagine how many times I've gone through this thing, and that I'm tired of fucking reading it. But it does the very few people who have been able to read the final product have come back with going, that subject matter is ridiculous, yet I didn't know I needed to know that.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where it's at. I think it's a great gift. It's unique. There's nothing else like it. Really. No, that doesn't offend me if that's what you're asking.
No, I was just thinking white elephant gifts are gifts that you give at a gift isn't that a gift? Well, maybe I do it wrong. Maybe that's the issue.
The white elephant gift though is like, isn't it where you trade each other for the better gift?
No, like a white elephant gift party isn't that a party where you bring a gift that you don't want anymore, or that
No.
nobody's gonna want?
Everybody gets a gift. This is the way we do it. Everybody gets a gift. Like you have 10 people, right? And then you all pick numbers, okay?
Right.
And
so some of the gifts are good, and some of them are stupid.
Yeah. So everybody brings a gift that's like $20, right?
Gotcha.
Whatever. And so the person who picks 10, they go first, and they pick whatever gift they want. The person who picks 9 either gets to pick a gift from the pile or pick the person's 10 gifts. So the number that you want is 1 because you get to pick from all of them.
Right. And then if you want to trade or steal. Right, you can steal that person's gift, right?
Right. If you have a
so I'm thinking of a different thing. I'm thinking of a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was one of those. It was one of those events that everybody brings a terrible gift, and you do the same thing.
I think you're confusing it with a bad sweater party.
Something like that. Maybe. Yeah.
Do you have we'll get into that as we get into the holiday season.
It's coming, Kev.
Anyhow,
the holiday season's on its way.
October 1st is coming. We have quite a few author-signed copies going out. Actually got first couple pre-orders on the digital side of that. And I'm just telling you, on October 1st, that price is going to increase significantly. Significantly. And I can't do anything about it because it's already in the computer.
Did you hear what I said on my podcast last week?
What?
I said I'm going to wait till after October 1st.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to
I
pay the full
that.
price because I think you deserve it.
I appreciate that.
You need all the monies you can get.
What I'm excited about is actually somebody reading this thing and see if they could find the 2 Easter eggs in it. There's one that it'll if it's a snake, it'll bite you. But there's one that you got to kind of you got to look for, and you probably have to have listened to this program a time or two.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm still upset that Tinselberries didn't make it in.
Dude, there's always volume 2.
It'll make it into the holiday edition.
The holiday edition. They're all holiday editions. It's gonna take me a freaking year to deal with.
Along with the Christmas pickle. right?
I did put ornaments in this one and the menorah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually, this is kind of funny. You'll get a kick out of this. This is an argument between me and an editor. Did you know that the menorah is a noun but not a proper noun?
I did not.
So, because we had a chapter on the menorah, and every
The
time
menorah is not a proper noun.
it does not need to be capitalized.
Really?
And so he told me that, and I didn't believe him, so I Googled it.
Found out he was right.
It turned out he was right. Yeah, so I was like, that's why you are who you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he does what he does.
At some point, man, you just got to hit go, and so it is what it is. It's not changing again. I'm done fucking with it. I'm actually got my brain on to volume 2 or another edition that I want to do. It's into, hey, let's see how many people want to learn about stupid shit.
I do.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I will tell you this: when Beebs, everybody in listener land, Beebs was the first person. This is back probably January, February. And I said, I have an idea. And he said, what? And I said, I think I've decided to write a book. And he's like, well, what about? And I shot you the art for it like that. And Beebs said, I'd buy it.
I would.
Yeah.
And I'm going to at full price after October 1st.
Cool. All right. Anyhow, it comes out October 1st. Pre-order available at stupidhistory.net.
I'm going to buy a couple copies, actually. I'm going to put it on the toilet in my office.
Nice.
In the new office. That way everybody can see it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They can go, what is that?
I shall read it while I'm waiting.
Yeah.
For the next thing to drop.
So go check out all those podcasts from Unfiltered Studios, and you'll have a good time. You'll have a good time. And you're not going to tell us what's going on Finding Your Way, are you?
I'm still deciding between a couple things. There was something cool that happened.
Cool.
So there was a cool story I think I want to share with everybody because and it'll involve one of my prior episodes. So I think I'm going to share that story.
So we'll try to get our guest and the Lube Man back on next week, and
we need the Lube Man.
Sorry, yeah, we need you, Lube Man. So we'll try to get them back on next week. But go check out all the podcasts from our friends at Unfiltered Studios, as well as the Two Penny Podcast. So for the Beebs, my name is the Keb, and we will catch you guys next week.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.